Hello friends. Today we are reviewing an unusual device, Sanytron Astrion. It is a smart home control remote, but not quite in the usual sense. Essentially, what we have here is a standalone Android gadget in the form of a remote control, with a touchscreen, physical buttons, a charging dock, and a full power supply. The main idea of Astrion is to provide quick access to Home Assistant without a smartphone, tablet, or wall panel. The remote connects directly to Home Assistant through a standard token and displays only the devices, scenarios, and screens that we prepare for it ourselves. And this, in my opinion, is one of its advantages. Unlike the regular Home Assistant app, there is no access to excessive functions here. There are strictly defined entities: lights, climate, blinds, media players, scenes, commands. That is, the user does not get the entire Home Assistant, but exactly the set of controls that is truly needed every day. In this review, we will look at the package contents, external appearance, charging dock, screen, physical buttons, connection to Home Assistant, RosCard setup, work with devices and scenarios, as well as IR control of a TV. Based on the testing results, I can already say, in daily use, such a remote turned out to be noticeably more convenient than constantly opening the app on a phone. More details on everything ahead. And before we begin, as usual, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so before. Let's start with the delivery. The device arrived fairly quickly, approximately in 2 to 2.5 weeks. I received it at a Miest Express branch, and on the outside it was an ordinary shipping box, completely wrapped in yellow tape. Inside, there was already the branded Astrion box. The design is very simple. Thick cardboard and a schematic image of the remote itself on the front side. No bright printing or unnecessary marketing. Rather, technical packaging designed to survive shipping properly. Right under the lid, there is the manual and the remote itself. It lies in a dense cardboard insert and is firmly fixed in place. The packaging is really well made. The remote is secured tightly, nothing rattles inside, so I had no questions about shipping protection. Let's take out all the contents and look at the package in more detail. Now let's see what is inside the box. First of all, the Sanytron Astrion remote itself. Externally, it resembles a classic TV remote, but in fact it is a Home Assistant control terminal, an Android device with custom firmware, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and an infrared transmitter. The manufacturer specifies a 2000 mAh battery, charging through a dock station, dimensions of 219 by 52 by 12 millimeters, and a weight of 180 grams. Separately, the package includes a desktop stand. It also serves as a charging station. The remote is simply placed on top, fixed in position, and charged through a contact pad. There is also a power adapter in the box, designed for an input voltage from 100 to 240 volts, and the output is 5 volts, power up to 10 watts. There is also a set of interchangeable plugs for different sockets and a USB-A to USB-C cable. The package also includes a small instruction manual in English. On the first side, the main elements of the remote and charging base are shown: screen, microphone, power button, physical keys, charging contacts, indicator, and power connector. The basic procedure for connecting to Home Assistant is also described here. Create a long-lived access token, connect the remote to the same network, scan the QR code from the remote screen, and provide it with the Home Assistant address together with the token. On the second side of the manual, the installation of RosCard through HACS is described. This is a set of special cards through which control elements from Home Assistant are displayed on the remote. But I will say right away, the manual here is rather brief and does not answer all questions. Some points, especially those related to firmware updates, Astrion Home integration, and IR control, had to be searched separately on the manufacturer's website and forum. I will leave links to them in the description below the video. In terms of shape, Astrion resembles a regular TV remote, but with a touchscreen and a large set of physical buttons. The screen is located in the upper part. Below it is the navigation block, control buttons, and separate keys for quick actions. On the side edge, there is a button to turn the remote itself on. Under the screen on the front side, there is also a button with a power symbol, but it is already used as a control button for Home Assistant, not as the system power button of the device. In the front part of the body, there is an infrared transmitter. With its help, Astrion can work as an IR remote for a TV or other equipment. On the backside, the body looks quite simple and neat. The main rear part is metal. The dark zone of the IR transmitter is visible at the front, and on the side there is the physical power button. The remote fits comfortably in the hand. It is larger than a regular TV remote, but the buttons are positioned well, and the main elements can be reached with the thumb. The weight of about 180 grams is clearly noticeable, and the remote does not feel empty or toy-like. The screen supports taps and scrolling, so the control is combined. Quick commands are done with buttons, more complex actions through the touch interface. Now about the stand. It is quite heavy, with a metal body, so it stands firmly on the table. On the front, there are 2 charging contacts for the remote and a status LED indicator. On the back side of the stand, there is a USB-C connector for power. On the rear side, there is an opening through which it is convenient to route the cable backwards so that it does not interfere with placing the remote. The sticker indicates the base model and power supply of 5V2A. The remote is placed into the base vertically and is fixed quite firmly. A magnetic mount is used here, so it positions itself in place and does not wobble. When power is connected, a green indicator lights up in the lower part of the stand. The remote arrived to me almost completely discharged, and at first it would not even turn on. So before setup, I had to put it on charge. This is after some time. The remote has charged a little and shows 9%. After charging, the remote turns on normally. In standby mode, the screen displays a clock screensaver, and system indicators are visible at the top. At this stage, the device is already ready for initial setup and connection to Home Assistant. At first startup, the remote suggests choosing the interface language. 2 options are available, Chinese and English, so we will continue working with the English interface. After selecting the language, the remote shows a short instruction consisting of several screens. It explains the general connection procedure. Now I will show each of the steps in detail. To connect Astrion to Home Assistant, you first need to create a long-lived access token. This is done in the user profile. We open our profile in Home Assistant and go to the Security tab. On the Security page, scroll down to the Long-Lived Access Tokens block. This is where permanent access tokens are located, used by external applications and devices to connect to Home Assistant. For the remote, we will create a separate token so that it can be quickly deleted if necessary. Click Create Token and assign a clear name, for example Astrion. This name is only needed for convenience, so that later in the list of tokens it is clear which access belongs to this remote. After creation, Home Assistant shows the token itself. It must be copied immediately because it will not be displayed again. Next, we follow the steps according to the instructions. First, connect Astrion to Wi-Fi. It should be the same local network where your Home Assistant is located. Choose the required network, enter the password, and wait for the connection. After that, a QR code will appear on the screen, which must be scanned with a phone. The second option is to open in a browser the address indicated below the QR code. After scanning the QR code, the remote authorization page opens on the phone. Here you need to select the address of your Home Assistant in the local network and paste the long-lived access token that we created in the previous step. If several addresses are found in the network, make sure that the correct Home Assistant instance is selected. After that, click Submit, and Astrion connects to the server. Immediately after connecting, the remote will display a message saying that the device or view is empty. This is normal. Astrion does not automatically pull in the entire Home Assistant interface on its own. A compatible dashboard must be created separately for it, and control cards must be added there. That is what we will do now. Now we need Home Assistant again, or more precisely Home Assistant Community Store, HACS. Here we click the menu with 3 dots in the upper right corner and select Custom Repositories. We need to add a new RosCard repository. Paste the address. As with all other useful links, you will find it in the description below the video. In the Type field, be sure to select Dashboard, because this is a set of cards for the Home Assistant interface, not a regular integration. After that, click Add. After adding it, the repository appears in the installed list. We can see that its type is indicated as a plugin, not an integration like EcoFlow, for example. Now we return to HACS and enter RosCard in the search and find it in the list available for installation. HACS will also now track its updates. Open the page and click Download to install it. After installing RosCard and HACS, for the sake of a clean experiment, it is better to restart Home Assistant to apply all changes. After the restart, go to Settings and open the Dashboard section. We need to create a separate panel specifically for the Astrion remote. In the Dashboard section, click Add Dashboard. In the window that opens, select New Dashboard from scratch. Set the parameters of the new dashboard. In my case, this is the name Astrion, an icon in the form of a remote. The link was generated automatically, and I left it as it was. Enable display in the sidebar so that this dashboard is easier to open for further setup. After that, click Create. After creation, the new dashboard appears in the list of custom Home Assistant panels. It is placed somewhere in the second half of the overall list. If you need to change the order of items in the Home Assistant sidebar menu, open the user profile. In the interface settings block, there is an option for changing the order and hiding sidebar menu elements. Click Edit, and here you can change the order and display of sidebar menu items. I drag the new dashboard upward, almost to the very beginning of the list. Now open it. It is still empty, so next we go into Edit mode through the menu with 3 dots in the upper right corner. After switching to Edit mode, we see an empty page. By default, it is created in Sections mode. That is not suitable for Astrion, so we click the pencil next to the name of the current tab. In the View settings, change the display type to the classic Lovelace layout. Cards are placed in a regular list/grid without sections. Also set the tab name, for example Main, and save the settings. Now in the created Astrion dashboard, click Add Card. We are already in the Main tab with the correct layout, so we can add the first card. In the list of cards, enter ROS in the search. After installing RosCard, special cards marked ROS appear here. For climate, blinds, fan, light, media player, scenes, switches, and other device types. For the first test, let us choose a simple light card, light control card. In the card settings, select the required light entities from Home Assistant. In my case, these are 2 chandeliers in the living room. On the right, a preview is displayed immediately. This allows you to check how the card will look on the dashboard. After saving, the card appears on the main page. For now, I am not adding anything else. We need to test how it works. Now we return to the remote itself. Swipe down from the top to open the Quick Settings menu. Here you can see the connected Wi-Fi network, the IP address of the remote, and the connection status to Home Assistant. Below are the screen brightness and volume sliders, as well as the refresh button. Press it so that the remote updates the data from the created dashboard. The cards may not appear immediately. At first, the message device is empty may still be displayed, but after a few seconds the added entities are loaded. In my case, 2 chandeliers from the living room appeared on the screen. They can already be turned on and off directly from the remote, and when entering the card, more detailed settings are available. Here are several examples of RosCard cards already expanded on the remote screen. For blinds, the current position is displayed in percentages. There are buttons for opening, stopping, and closing, as well as position control by buttons or by swiping on the screen. For a lamp, the basic control is available: on, off, and brightness adjustment. Below there is access to additional settings, color temperature, or effects if the lamp itself supports them. The next example is a thermostatic head. Here you can turn the device on and off, change the target temperature with plus and minus buttons, and also move to selecting operating modes. And on the right is a media player card, in this case HomePod Mini. The screen displays the current track cover art, title, artist, /pause/forward buttons, and volume control. Live testing, controlling the blinds. Let us separately focus on the TV card. It is needed for controlling a TV or TV box from the Astrion remote using physical buttons. In the RosCard card list, select TV. In the card settings, first choose the device type. In my case, this is Android TV. Below we set a clear name, for example Me TV. In the application list source and media fields, select the required media player entity from Home Assistant. Here it is the Me TV television. After that, the card already understands which device it will work with, receiving data about capabilities and currently playing content. Below there is a button configuration block. Here you can assign actions to individual remote buttons. In this example, I assigned the volume button's physical commands for the media player entity, volume up and volume down. Commands are selected from a drop-down list, and next to it there is a test button to immediately check whether the selected action works. To clarify, this is logical control, not via IR, similar to how it is done in the Home Assistant interface. Thus, we can recreate on Astrion remotes for all used smart TVs, media boxes, smart speakers, and so on. That is, a real use case for the remote. Now let us look at the remote menu itself. By swiping down from the top, quick settings open. Here you can see the connected Wi-Fi network, the IP address of the device, Home Assistant status, brightness, volume, and the refresh button. Through the Set button, the main settings menu opens. In the Home Assistant section, you can check the account, connection status, and server address. In Network Settings, you can view the current Wi-Fi network or connect to another one. In Display Settings, there are Screen Settings, Brightness, Interface Language, Wake on Lift, and Charging Animation. Separately, there are Lock Settings. Here you set the screen timeout. You can enable a mode in which the screen does not turn off while charging, and you can also configure Screen Lock, Auto Lock Delay, Screensaver, and Unlock method. In the Shortcut section, quick actions for physical buttons are configured. By default, they are not assigned, but each button can be assigned to the required element from the created dashboard. For example, here the light button is linked to the main tab and to 2 chandeliers. Below there is access to the Android system settings and the About section, where device ID, software version, and firmware version are displayed. In the About section, you can also check for updates. In my case, the remote arrived with version 1.0.38, after which it offered an update to 1.2.0. The list of changes is immediately shown on the screen. After clicking Update, the download and installation begin. After the update, the current number is already displayed in About. There is also a Report Error Logs switch here for sending error logs. For the remote's infrared transmitter to work, one more integration is needed, Astrion Home. It is also added through HACS as a custom repository. You will also find the path to it in the description below the video. The type is integration. After adding it, open the Astrion Home page in HACS and click Download. Wait until it is downloaded and installed. After the download, HACS immediately shows the warning Restart required. Click Submit to restart Home Assistant and apply the installed integration. After restarting, you can go to the Integrations menu, search for it by name, and install it. After installation, the integration searches for a gateway, the role of which here is performed by the remote itself. Essentially, it is a gateway that gives the integration access to the IR transmitter. Select it and click Submit to add it to the system. After adding the integration, the remote appears in Astrion Home as a separate entry. To add an IR device for it, click the gear icon to the right of this entry. A window for selecting an IR library opens. At the moment, only one library is available here, so just select it and click Submit. Perhaps other options will appear in the future, but for now the choice is effectively only one. Next, you need to choose the device type. The list already includes several categories: amplifier, fan, light, media player, projector, soundbar, TV box, and other options. There are no air conditioners here yet, and for me that would be very interesting. So for the test, we choose a television. After choosing the device type, confirm the selection with the Submit button. After that, the integration proceeds to the next setup step. Now select the device brand from the list of supported ones. In my case, this is Xiaomi. After selecting the brand, the integration offers an available driver model. Here, for Xiaomi, one television option was found. Select it. After choosing the library, device type, brand, and driver, a new IR device appears in the integration. It is displayed inside the entry of the remote itself, and there can be several such devices here. If suitable codes are found in the library, the remote will be able to control various equipment via the infrared channel. In Home Assistant, this device is created as a regular remote-type entity, approximately according to the same principle as Broadlink, Xiaomi IR, and other infrared controllers. Then we return to the TV card we discussed earlier. Only now, for the remote's physical buttons, we select not media player commands, but the remote entity we created. After that, for each button you can assign the required IR command from the list: up, down, back, home, left, right, volume, and other available options. Thus, the physical buttons of the remote begin sending commands through the infrared transmitter. There is a custom IR code option here. If the required command is not in the ready-made library, it is assumed that a full raw IR signal string should be inserted here: frequency, then pulse and pause durations in microseconds. An important point: I have not yet found a learning mode where Astrion itself reads the command from the original remote. Custom IR code here is intended rather for an advanced scenario, when the raw code has already been obtained externally and only needs to be inserted into the card. Checking the operation of the remote through the IR channel. The codes matched, the TV responds, essentially the same as with Android TV, but through the IR channel. To summarize, Sanytron Astrion turned out to be a very interesting and unusual device, but definitely not from the category of take it out of the box and everything works immediately. Its strong side is precisely the combination of a touchscreen, physical buttons, and Home Assistant. For daily control of lights, blinds, climate, media players, and scenarios, this format is indeed more convenient than taking out a phone and opening an app every time. But there are also nuances. Setup takes time. RosCard and Astrion Home need to be installed separately. The manual still does not cover all questions, and IR control looks promising, but in places it is still somewhat raw, especially in terms of custom IR codes and the device library. So I would put it this way: this is not a mass-market remote for any user, but rather an interesting tool for those who already live in Home Assistant and want to make a convenient physical interface for everyday smart home control. I like the device, it has good potential, but there is still room to develop the software part. That is all. I hope the video was useful and interesting for you. I will be grateful for your likes. They help promotion on YouTube. If you do not want to miss new reviews and lessons, subscribe to my channel. In the description below the video, you will find all the links to the manufacturer's website, instructions, repositories, as well as my social networks, Telegram channels, and a group for communication on smart home topics. Thank you for your attention. See you again. Peace to everyone.